Welcome back to my channel, and today we have a question about Dutasteride, whether scaling up to Dutasteride from Finasteride, if it is thought not to be working, is a prudent thing to do or not. The link to the video is above. So firstly, before starting off, I would like to acknowledge the fear, the apprehension my community member has about the side effects of Finasteride, and I would like to dispel certain myths, certain misconceptions in his mind and in the mind of many people in my community about Finasteride versus Dutasteride. The question about switching from Finasteride to Dutasteride is an often asked question on many forums as well as in my community, especially from individuals who are experiencing side effects from Finasteride during the short term or in long term use. And patients are hesitant to continue Finasteride because of many negative reviews online and from friends and family. It is perfectly natural to feel apprehensive about certain drugs that alter your hormonal profile and your hormonal balance, especially given the vast number of reviews online that are available about the use of DHT blockers like Finasteride. But the claim that those on Dutasteride have lesser side effects than those on Finasteride is a myth which I seek to dispel in the present video. Dutasteride being a stronger DHT blocker, it is counterintuitive that a stronger DHT blocker will give lesser side effects than a DHT blocker of the same family which is less potent. And this also in a way reflects the nocebo effect of Finasteride, since there is more negative press about Finasteride than there exists about Dutasteride, because of the simple reason, not far to seek, that Finasteride is an FDA approved medication. But on the other hand, the use of Dutasteride for management of hair loss is considered off-label. So if you see this entire controversy, this entire myth with this background, things will begin to get clearer. Since Dutasteride is an off-label medication for the management of hair loss, it is not considered a competitor in the hair loss industry. And I will dilate on this further. Stay on. So a background about Dutasteride and Finasteride, about DHT blockers. Both Finasteride and Dutasteride are DHT blockers which prevent the conversion of testosterone to its active metabolite DHT or dihydrotestosterone by suppressing the action of the enzyme 5-alpha reductase. Most of us know that. DHT is implicated in shrinkage of follicles in people who have been endowed by the baldness gene, people who have male pattern alopecia, and in other words, androgenic alopecia. Finasteride inhibits about 67% of DHT by selectively blocking the enzyme 5-alpha reductase type 2, which is one of the two forms of this enzyme. On the other hand, Dutasteride is said to block about 95% to 97% of DHT, that means almost all of your DHT, by blocking both the isoenzymes of 5-alpha reductase, that is type 1 and type 2. So due to Dutasteride more potent effect, it inhibits much more DHT, and therefore it has a much more significant effect on hair loss, which is why some people consider going on to Dutasteride. They consider it as a step up from Finasteride. So there are two types of people who want to switch over from Finasteride to Dutasteride, scale up or step up from Finasteride to Dutasteride. Number one are those who want a more potent action for the hair loss. The hair loss is not subsiding by merely using Finasteride. And secondly, those who have experienced side effects of Finasteride, and since they see no negative reviews about Dutasteride on the internet, they want to switch over from Finasteride to Dutasteride. So please keep that very clear in your mind, why people want to scale up from Finasteride to Dutasteride. The variability that we see between one person and the other, some people who are on Finasteride, they report side effects, while at the same time other people do not have any side effect at all. In fact, they have a salubrious effect while on Finasteride, both on their sexual health as well as on their hair loss. Now, why is it so? Why this variability? The answer is simple. Some people metabolize the drug more effectively, more efficiently than others, leading to fewer systemic side effects. However, this is more of an exception than a rule. Number two, perception and expectation. The mind is a very strong element. Whatever you believe will surely happen. It is so strong. So if you feel that you're going to have side effects, more likely than not, believe me, you are going to end up with them. And this is a psychological component to side effects that people experience from certain drugs. If you are overly concerned about Finasteride due to the humongous amount, the pile-up of negative reviews on the internet that you see on a day-to-day basis, after you have done one search on Finasteride on Google, this anxiety of yours will definitely manifest in a heightened state of sensitivity to the side effects of Finasteride. When switching from Finasteride to Dutasteride, when you expect it to be better, for it to be causing less side effects, especially after you have gone through certain anecdotal reports on the internet, your psychological burden may be greatly lessened, thereby reducing the perception of side effects from finasteride. And this is known as the nocebo effect of finasteride on one hand and the placebo effect of dutasteride on the other. And I've already spoken about the nocebo effect of finasteride in this video. And thirdly, hormonal dynamics. How the body reacts, how the body adjusts due to these hormonal shifts in the body. So if you've experienced side effects with finasteride, you should be very cautious if you're choosing to scale up to dutasteride, because of the simple reason that dutasteride is much more potent. Much more potent because it suppresses much more DHT than finasteride does. So taking dutasteride when you have been experiencing side effects through finasteride is not going to help. On the other hand, it has the potential of worsening or amplifying the side effects that you already have been experiencing. And what are these side effects? Just a quick recapitulation. Sexual side effects, low libido, erectile dysfunction. Secondly, mood changes, cognitive dysfunction, brain fog. And thirdly, breast changes and gynecomastia. It is important to understand that DHT, while in our minds linked to hair loss, has many more important functions in the body, even in those who are above 21. Why this age 21? Because this is the age by which the secondary sexual characteristics of the male are mostly fully formed, and most of the work of DHT on the body is over by then. But it is not that DHT is not required after the age of 21. DHT continues to contribute to sexual function, sexual health, prostate health, overall male vitality, and therefore completely suppressing this hormone DHT is likely to have broader implications. So coming back to the question of the day, should you switch to dutasteride from finasteride if you are experiencing side effects from finasteride? I do not recommend switching over from finasteride to dutasteride if you are experiencing side effects from finasteride because of these 4 reasons. Higher potency means higher risk. Dutasteride is used as an off-label medication for hair loss. It has not been approved for the treatment of hair loss because there is less clinical data that supports its use for treatment of hair loss. Number 3, reflex hyperandrogenicity. If you haven't heard this term before, please click on the link above. And fourthly, health is more important than hair. If you have already been experiencing side effects on finasteride and there is no psychological overlay, it might be worth considering with due thought whether your decision to switch from finasteride to dutasteride outweighs the potential benefits. So if a person is experiencing side effects from finasteride, what does he do? I will recommend that the patient goes off finasteride for complete 60 days. Let the drug get washed out of your body. After these 60 days are over, consult an expert hair loss surgeon and take his advice. He will get certain blood tests done. He will assess you psychologically. He will assess your hair loss condition and suggest alternative treatment strategies. I have evolved my 5 treatment strategies with finasteride and you can click the link above to see them. So concluding today's topic, today's question and answer session, while online anecdotal reports, online experiences can instill fear in the mind, it remains crucial to base your decisions, and in this case scaling up from finasteride to dutasteride, based on evidence-based medicine, and the clinical judgment of an expert in this field. And there exist many the world over. So let me know if you have any questions about this topic. I'll be happy to help. If you have any question that is important enough that needs to be addressed in a video, do let me know and I'll get back to you at the soonest. Have a nice day and God bless you.